We were an incredibly healthy economy. So we want to just bridge people until the world reopens. And we believe that when the world reopens, it's all going to come back. Because fundamentally, you talk to small business owners, they had never had a better year. You talk to workers, wages were up, unemployment was at historic lows. So we want to get people through this horrible health crisis that was no fault of their own. And one of the ways to do this is with these loans that at the end of it, if they actually use the loan proceeds for payroll expenses, for overhead in the form of rent payments, utilities, then it's granted to them. So it becomes a grant rather than a loan if they use it to maintain their workforce.
Small business retention loans. This will cover roughly 50% of the private payroll in small businesses, where we will immediately make loans that will supply 8 weeks of salaries as long as they keep workers employed and overhead. And those loans will be forgiven at the end of the period as long as they keep workers employed. These are SBA loans, but the Treasury will be issuing new regulations authorizing almost every single FDIC-insured bank to make these. I expect by the end of next week, we will have a very simple process where these can be made and dispersed in the same day. So this will be a very simple system to get money into small business hands. For companies that don't qualify that, we have a economic program of tax incentives to retain workers. And as the president said, we have enhanced unemployment insurance for people who don't fit into these two programs that will be administered through the states. We also have economic impact payments. These will be within the next 3 weeks, direct payments into most people's deposit accounts. And for those that don't have it, we will be having the checks in the mail. Treasury will have additional authorities. We have $500 billion that we can use to work with the Federal Reserve for emergency programs that will create up to an additional $4 trillion, if needed, to support American business and American workers in an unprecedented way. And then finally, the president mentioned $100 billion to hospitals and $150 billion to states that have specific coronavirus expenses, as well as many additional things. Mr. President, I especially want to thank you and the Vice President. You were constantly available to us. We spoke constantly throughout the day. You gave us guidance and quick decisions on many issues. And again, thank everybody for this great bipartisan work. This is going to be enormous help for the American workers and the American economy. The president was very determined that Congress would move swiftly to protect hardworking Americans in business in this unprecedented situation.
Thank you very much, Steve. Great job. Day and night, right? Day and night. That was a lot of work, and we'll see how it all goes. We still need a vote, Steve, don't we? Do you have a question? Yes.
Do you think this bill will keep the economy afloat?
Hopefully a long time. We'll see. If we have to go back, we have to go back. We're going to take care of the American worker. We're going to take care of these companies that fuel this country and make the country great. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. But we think
I would say we've anticipated 3 months. Hopefully we won't need this for 3 months. Hopefully this war will be won quicker. But we expect that this is a significant amount of money, if needed, to cover the economy.
And don't forget, a lot of this is going to be to keep companies that are very strong, AAA-rated companies previously, to keep them going. And it's going to be in the form of loans, so the money's going to come back. A lot of this money's coming back.
Separately, let me ask you about something you said yesterday. You said we should never be reliant on a foreign country for the means of our own survival.
Yeah.
What did you mean?
Well, I've been saying that for a long time. Well, we're reliant on many countries where we give up our supply chains, we give up our factories, we give up our production facilities, and we can buy it someplace else for a little bit lower price.